Okay, well, welcome to the Curse of Fey, a continuation of our D&D game. Last week, sadly, we had lost our first, maybe first and only, depending on how how sessions go. But we lost our first character, our first player's character, and shall see how things proceed in this game and what happens next. But as we have now started to do at the beginning of the sessions, I would like to award inspiration to those of you who can accurately remember what happened. It should be fairly rememberable. No, what's the word? Memorable. It should be memorable what happened in the last session.
That's confusing.
A lot of exactly yes. There's a lot of things that happened. Lots of negative things that happened. So. Those things tend to stay in your mind a little bit. So, who would like to begin and give me a little piece of what happened last session?
I died.
Perfect. You may have inspiration.
I was about to say I tend to start, so I'm gonna let someone else start, and then I died. Okay.
Seeing as you
was gonna be the start.
Seeing as you died last session, you get instant inspiration, and you're free to use that. If you make it back into the session.
I will say, just to add on to it a bit more than just I died, I managed to fall through 2 stories before I died.
Yes.
On my face.
Yeah, that was quite something. It was quite unlucky that, I mean, I suppose it makes sense because you are in heavy armor and it was a collapsing tower and you were on the stairs. But the fact that it happened multiple times was...
I mean, Kane's worst stat was Dex.
Right. Makes sense. Armor and everything, yeah. And you were also carrying someone for some of it as well. So, you know, that amalgamation of things made it more difficult.
He was doing it with pride, though. Clerics for life.
Exactly, yes. And ironically, you're all about balance, and unfortunately that balance made you fall through the floor. So unbalanced, I guess, but
I lost my balance.
Lost your balance down there. Very good. Yes, you may have inspiration for
My balance of his footing failed.
You have inspiration for your burial rites. You get to pick your own headstone. Congratulations. God, more be curious,
so
more humor. Right, let's move on quickly. Okay, who would like to go next?
I guess I'll take it. We got to the top of the tower where we had this. What was the again? Large fireball hovering pretty much at the center of this burnt tree canopy.
That's right, yeah.
We had 4 glyphs around it, stationed within the tree trunk, so to say. That was all based around the floors themselves, which was a note I felt bloody take. We tried to solve it first attempt with me and Moira. I think was the one that caused the tree to start collapsing, which, yeah, that was not very good.
That's right. Yeah, the first glyph was not in the correct order, and that's what started the chain reaction.
Which, ironically, was the scales.
Exactly.
Was his fate?
It was
the scales caused us to fail, and then the scale-based one fucking
exactly.
died.
It tipped that one. I was that wasn't intentional as another kind of red herring as well, because you may have started to think, oh, is this symbol related to me? Because obviously, Kane was very much for the balancing, and then maybe that was like, oh, we have to stand at our own like pillar, but I
actually wanted to start with the scales because, well, this thing is unbalanced. Maybe it just needs to be balanced.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like an easy solution and therefore might be the one worth trying first, which apparently was the one to do last.
That's it. There were clues on each of the levels for you to perhaps not instantaneously understand, but luckily, I was worried that maybe when you went up, you might not find each of these ones, or maybe find a couple. But you were inquisitive enough to be able to find those ones. So, each of the art pieces had a message or a note of some sort on them inscribed, and so that was a clue to the order. The order being the floors, which after that first mistake, Galatea was able to sort out for you guys. So, okay,
Well,
perfect.
we promptly forgot about them at first.
Yes, yeah, there was a bit of confusion over it, but yeah, that's good. Okay, you can have inspiration for that part, Amros. Who else
The
would
only
like
more
to?
ironic part is that I think all of my notes there was actually the session before.
Yes. All right, who would like to go next?
Well, I can take it from there, I guess.
You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, Galatea was trying to remember all the paintings below and in what order, slightly panicking while she was doing so. Although seeming more assertive this time than before, having just like initiated combat with this thing without question. Just
That's a good point. Yes, you were the first, but you flung a ice arrow, didn't you? Not arrow, dart, dagger.
Ice shard or something. I can't remember.
That's right. Yeah, it was an ice dagger that you threw at the ball of fire,
which just melted because it was too hot.
If you'd rolled higher, it would have hit, but it unfortunately because you rolled quite low, I thought it was appropriate that it just went and just fizzled out and melted.
I'm pretending that it was something that was just not going to happen because then it's not down to my bad roll. Galatea started sort of trying to work out the order of everything and directing people to go and figure out how to trigger each of them. Trying her best to just ignore the big thing in the middle, even though it kept lashing out at us. Thankfully, a few people kept it occupied. I think it was Tiswin and Kane mainly. Standing in the center and tanking the hits, while Moira and Amros and Galatea ran around desperately trying to figure out how these things work.
Yeah, that's good.
And when we did start getting them activated or deactivated, I guess, there were some protests from the great big ball of fire.
Yes.
So we knew we were on the right track, and no more of the tower started falling. Well, not anything new was triggered.
Yes.
Anyway.
No, it didn't get worse after you started doing the doing the right order. Now the if you had continued to do the wrong order, then yes, there would have been other consequences for that as well. As it was, the tower was collapsing, but you got time at least to run down the tower and get out before it potentially fell down. But if you'd made more mistakes at the top, then potentially that could have been worse situation. You also had the chance to just go. This seems too much. Let's just go as well. So never forget you have got that option as well. If you decide that something may be too difficult or you're not prepared for, don't forget you could just peace out as well. Even if you don't think that's the kind of the heroic thing to do. Sometimes you have to think about your own lives as well.
I had backup plans. I had exit strategy myself. I don't know about anyone else. Galatea doesn't like these people, but also doesn't consider everyone all the time.
Now, I'll before we move on to Moira, what specifically do you remember about the ball of fire? Anything about that?
I remember nothing, so I think someone else will have to.
Okay. All right then. Well, yeah, you can have inspiration as well for that. And Moira, would you like to round out what happened after that?
I mean, I don't have really anything to add. Moira also kind of kept falling unconscious and coming back up as we were running down the tree because she kept getting hit by falling branches or pieces of floor and stuff.
Yes, you were unconscious and semi-conscious for a lot of it and being carried at points as well. So you were MacGyvering it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about the fireball itself?
It said something about having watched us this entire time, and that was scary.
Yep, that is true. Anybody else remember anything about the fireball?
I do.
Yes, go ahead.
It had this sort of wooden mask that kind of portrayed like an elven face, or features at least.
That's right, yes.
That it did mention something that this mask, now a husk, once served as a guardian or something, but now this thing possessed its husk instead.
Yeah, that's pretty close to it. Yeah. Yeah. So the let me just bring up the information here.
Might not be the exact words, but
no, I mean you're close enough on that. Yeah, that's
recap.
pretty close to what was said. Let me just see if I can find the page here. I've got a lot of different documents here that I have to go through. Not that bit, no. Okay. Right. Yes. There is within the heart of the flame there was a twisted elven mask like face. Its features were regal, yet warped into a cruel sneer. And around the sphere there were spiral runes of flame that rotated like rings around the flame itself. And I believe you may have remembered the mask because a mask fell to the floor, which you picked up before heading down from the top of the tower.
Indeed. I actually just made a note in it in the Discord as well, just for the Guardian mask, because
That's right.
I just copied what I had written down.
Excellent. Yep, perfect. Okay. And yeah, sorry, Moira, was there anything else that you remembered that you wanted to about your journey out?
No.
No.
Nothing to add. I think everyone was very good.
Okie dokie. All right. Right. Let me just have a quick look here. I wanted to. Yeah. Just having a look here, mainly for you, Amros. Just trying to find out about that. If I wrote down about the mask, so just in case, if you look at it at any point, I'm just trying to see if I wrote it down, but I didn't
I was
able
planning to
find
look at it.
Yeah, I assumed you were.
If I wanted to look at, I'm just like, maybe not when we're trying to escape a falling tree.
Yeah. No, at the moment, I was just making sure that I had actually written the details for, because I just suddenly thought it's probably something that you're going to want to look at. But give me one moment. Let me have a little look.
Suddenly the mask possesses Amaras.
Oh, does Amaros
I am the
turn
fire
green?
spirit now.
Does he start turning green and like dancing and like saying like smoking?
It's not written in this document. I've written it somewhere, but I can't see it at the moment. But I
That's
will
what
have a
I
look at that while we get cracking on the game itself. But yes, that's fine. Okay, good. Well, everyone was managed to recount what happened quite well, and we will. Oh, let me just realize there's no sound. Where are we? Soundboard. Where are we? Not found anything today. Where is it?
You're not allowed things today, Faye.
I know allowed things. I've been waiting to play today because I've been doing tax all day. So
Oh no!
I've been like, oh, I got this another thing here.
The brain is fried.
Yeah, exactly. Let me put this one on. Is this one working? I can't hear anything. Oh, there we go. There we go. We've got something. We've got some audio of some sort there as well. Perfect. Okay. So, as you lay on the ground, having only just managed to dive through the doorway of the tower that you had escalated in, descended from the last session. Jumping through the doorway, the part of the party is currently maybe face down on the floor, having just dived out of this collapsing tower. The pieces of the already ashen and partially dead tree falling down and striking several of you as you were trying to make your exit. As you jumped through that doorway, the remaining parts of the tree collapse in on themselves, and a great gust of wind and debris shot out over the top of you and out into the town of Lancashire around you. Pieces of wood, branches went flying, splinters of wood rained down upon you. Luckily, none of these splinters that are on the outside are big enough to injure you further, but where this giant tree that had disappeared off into the sky once stood is now just a dead stump. Splintered and cracked wood all claved in on itself, and only the very bottom roots and branches that were left now remain intact, as well as this door frame through which you entered. As after the collapse of this tower, those of you who are still conscious raise your heads and push off any debris that may have collected on you after this tower has collapsed. There is a ringing in your ears from the noise and the sheer panic as you were leaving this tower. Not only because of the collapsing, but also after defeating this strange fiery wraith that had taunted you. And some of you may remember the words that they said. This seemed to be some kind of, although this creature itself was not the princess, there seemed to be a voice speaking through it that had mentioned to you of being watching you since they entered the domain. There's clearly some there connection between this tree, this ball of fire, and that the person who you have been told is the ruler of this domain. The guards, the Skullwood guards that you had briefly talked to, Eldrin Paleclaw, were at the behest of the princess, trying to take over maybe, or at least have a footing in this town for some reason. it's still a mystery as to why or how this was happening. But this ball of fire, this violet ball that was at the top of this tower, seemed to be some representation of this power that was trying to be gleaned over this town. But since you have defeated it, this tower collapsed. And almost, by taking this out, almost ended your own lives. Those of you who are conscious now look around and realize just how dangerous the power that is held by the princess might be. And although you stir and you look around and you initially suspect that you have got out by the skin of your teeth, one member of your party remains still and unmoving. Kane lays still, his armor holding him not seemingly fitted as it normally does, but in his lifeless body, almost an anchor, holding him down into the dirt.
Galatea is sitting next to him, with her head in her hands, just sobbing.
Moira has, I assume, just a few seconds prior been brought back up from unconsciousness herself by Tisvin's lay on hands, and is a little dazed and sees Kane there motionless, thinking it's not too late and that her kind of in the panic, forgetting about her disability at the moment, and just kind of crawls over and just starts pulling like dirt and moss and whatever is nearby, and just tries to cover up all possible wounds and attempts to do some sort of healing, but can't, because she can't talk. And the like snapping back to reality is like, I can't bring him back. And she starts silently crying as well.
Amorous is going to sit back up, noticing that his legs are too shaky to carry him, just drag himself over to Kane and just close Kane's eyes and just say, I'm sorry I couldn't get you out, man. Fuck. I don't know. Guess the scale truly fell today, huh?
Tisvin will walk over behind Moira and just bow his head and pray.
Galatea gets up. And she starts walking off. And then she walks back again, raking her hair back, which is sort of hanging loosely in this sort of ponytail that she's got. The whole thing lightly floating around after her, like some sort of lagging appendage. She looks around at all of them, and she's shaking her head and then walking off again. And then she comes back, and through the tears, she starts rambling. I'm not staying here anymore. I'm not staying in it here. Where we can't do anything anyway. And Moira is sick, and Sahana is sick, and we can't do anything. So we should just go. And I'm leaving. So I hope that you're coming with me, because I don't know how to get that. But I'm leaving. So are you coming?
Yeah, just give me a hand to get up, if you wouldn't mind.
Katia stands there, clenching her fists, and then holds out a hand. Just crying even more, as she pulls him up.
Amorosis takes her hand, and once he's on his feet, lets out a sigh and just holds his arms open, because he can tell that she's just bawling just as much as he's inside, and just offers a hug, but just waiting to see if she takes it or not.
Just holding on to his hand and just standing there, half buckled over, weeping, tightly gripping his hand, but not accepting the hug.
Noticing that she's not accepting, he's just gonna lower the other arm and just firmly hold her hand. Okay. What was our next plan? It was to head north, right? Or whatever north is in this place, we never bloody know.
Yeah. North. We need to go get Sahana, and we need to I can't Bula. Your hand is gonna have to sort this. I can't. It can't be on us.
Jisvan will raise his head from his prayer and say, "We do need to get out of here, but we need to give Cain a proper burial first. We cannot dishonor him by just letting him lie here."
Yeah, well,
I agree with you.
okay, well, I'm not staying here, so can we go now, please? Please?
Jisvan will bend down and lift Cain's body up. Let's go find somewhere peaceful to put him to rest, and then we'll leave.
I say we hear of your hand. he might have, I don't know, some place in his backyard or something. I think that would have soft ground and good enough for a burial. I don't know. Best option I can think of.
Shit, he's got his time too. Well, he will know. He will know what to do. So, alright. Can we go now?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And Amros reaches down to put one hand on Moira and just telling her, right, let's go. We need to finish this off.
Okay.
As
Sorry.
Moira stands up and turns to look at Amaros, you see something die in her. Just something small, a spark. Something.
It's not over yet. We will get home. One way or another.
At least that bitch can't see us anymore. She doesn't have this place.
That is probably the best news about all of this, to be fair. And Amros also takes out the wooden mask and just go, this fucking thing better have been worth something. If Jorhan doesn't know, I'm gonna fucking find a way to ask the Dryads, even if I just have to talk to a fucking log.
Okay. And as you pick up the body of Cain, you slowly make your way back to the Eristry estate, home of Johan and his sister Sahana. Being the Burgermeister, or will be the new Burgermeister after his father, and being one of the people that you know the most here in town, taking him back there, perhaps before you leave, to be able to perform rites, or just to know in this strange world that you find yourselves in, where the best place would be to remember, to find a place for Cain. You walk back through the relatively quiet streets of Langshan. After the tower collapsed, you saw many people running towards the center of town, but as you head away from it, the houses and streets seem empty. The rain still pitters down onto you as you walk, and the weight of the loss of a member of your party really bears down at you. As you approach the Eristry estate, you are quite glad to see that Johan and his sister are standing outside of their house, looking towards the town, obviously probably in shock from seeing this tower that has stood here for who knows how many years, now decimated and broken. Johan appears to seemed to be about to run off into town to discover what was happening, but when he sees you, he comes running up down along the path from the house. But even before he opens his mouth to ask you what happened, he sees you carrying Cain, and the grim expression on Galatia's face, in all of your faces, and he almost doesn't want to ask the question. He wordlessly walks up to you, Galatia, and just brings you into his chest and puts his arms around you.
Galatea is just like shaking her head as she sees him and burying her face against him, just holding on to his waist and fully just losing it now.
He holds you tightly and is just there. He just lets your emotions come out. He just holds you and gives you the time that you need. After a few moments, he looks up at the rest of you and softly he says, I am so sorry. I assume there is nothing that can be done.
Well, we can't even cure these two, so how can we cure death?
He nods and takes in a deep breath. He do not know if the rituals of our land are the same as yours. If you wish, we have yet to bury my father. I believe that I believe my father would have liked Cain. If you are agreeable, I believe that I can find a place for both of them together. It would be my honor for him to be buried with my father, or in the same place as my father.
Yeah, she just nods a little bit and looks at the others.
I can find that acceptable. As much as we want to give him a proper burial in our own way, we don't really have the option to do that, so doing it in the way of your people in this scenario, I think he actually would have liked that. He was a bit of a man of his own style, and I think, after all, born in one realm but buried in another makes a 2, so even number. Balance, I guess.
Your hand nods and he says, if you please bring him inside. It would be fitting. My sister may be able to make him more comfortable until we are ready. We will, in a way, bury him, as is at the rites here in the Feywild. It may not be exactly the same as in your own mortal plane, but he will be buried with honor. But please, come inside out of the rain. I assume the tower was and the ball of fire above it was the cause of this. Seems a stupid question to ask you now. I'm sorry. I will have time to speak to my people. In fact, please come inside. So Hannah will be able to attend to you. Do not think of me as unsympathetic. I must go and speak to my people. They will be coming and knocking at my door
better
anytime
to take
soon.
it inside.
Yes. The tower collapsing. They will be here knocking at the door, and I do not wish you to have to deal with this. I will go and speak to them directly, and and be back, but Sohano here will take care of you until I can return. I hope that is all right. And he just looks down at you, Galatea. He just gives you another squeeze tight. Is it? I will not be gone long. I will be back.
Galatea seems reluctant to let him go, but nods. And just quickly tells him just a few bits to give to people because she doesn't want to leave him with nothing. Just says that the princess watched everyone through there. We took care of it. She destroyed the tree. She's vicious.
Johan sighs again and nods. My father held out hope that princess may be reasoned with at some point, but a little while before his death, he had confided in me that he sensed that he was not himself anymore. He mentioned, I forget the name, something. He wrote a letter and sent it with a messenger, hoping that somebody may be able to come and help us. I was young when the princess first fell into this state of anguish. It is all I have known, but my father saw the change and it worried him greatly. Had he known about this, the eye looking upon us, keeping us under watch, it is not the way here in the Feywild. It worries me greatly about what else she is doing across the land. If this, for somewhere as small as Lancashire to be kept under her eye, we pose no threat to her. We do not speak about her or in ill ways. We do not. I do not know why. Thank you for telling me. I suppose this is why the Shadow Guard, the Scarlet Wood Guard, why they have been also changed, why they have been more violent, more aggressive. We thought that they had come here to help us, to protect us, but it turns out that they were here as her underlings to control us. I will not stand for this. I will speak to my people. I will explain what has happened, and we will need to discuss what happens further. But for the moment, please bring. And he goes to help you bring Kane in. Let us put Kane here, and I will speak to my people, and Sohana will make arrangements, and we can discuss what is to be done. And he finds a space for Kane in the house. His father still remains in the coffin. Sohana comes down. She is still mute. She's unable to speak to you, but you can see from her reaction that she is also very saddened by the loss of Kane. She also performs some kind of a ritual or some kind of spell or something. You see no magic being cast, but you see items being used. No physical change comes over Kane himself, but either herself will let you know, or Johan will let you know that she has put a gentle riposte over Kane's body, so that he will not decay or change, which you presume is what has happened, why their father looks as healthy as he does, having been laid out on the table for however many days or weeks that he's been
I
there.
think it's at least a week.
Exactly, yes. So they have basically made the bodies so that they will not degrade in any way until they are ready to be buried. And once this has happened, Johan will head off into town to speak to the people, mainly to explain what's going on. That I'm sure a lot of the people will be fearful in town of what has happened. This tower that has stood as long as the village has stood in this area being gone, the devastation that it has caused by collapsing. Johan has responsibilities to them, and he heads off, leaving you in the hands of Sahana, who I assume you will probably indicate that Moira is also suffering from the similar affliction. Obviously,
Yeah.
you won't be able to verbalize that, Moira, but I presume maybe you poke tongues out at each other. I don't know. Your black tongues.
I'm trying to remember if we already have.
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, she already knew?
She gave you her notebook so you'll be able to write.
Ah, I've forgotten that. Okay, perfect.
I think Gartia told Johan, who then told.
Right. Well, since then, and while you're here, Moira, Sahana has developed just a few very simple hand motions, so we say, to be able to communicate. And so she is able to teach you these over the course of maybe the evening. But she basically notes down to all of you on her pad as well, just to offer you time to recuperate. She can see how badly you are looking, how tired, how defeated currently you look. She offers you drink, she offers you food, she offers you beds, warm beds in the house, to be able to rest and recruit before any decisions are made and before anything else happens.
What are the hand signals?
So she basically shows you a few simple hand gestures, and she teaches you, but she also will offer to instruct the rest of you, so you can all maybe communicate. Just some simple hand motions that will, and we can work on this outside of this, but just some simple hand motions that will make it easier to be able to communicate when you need to. So a simple hand motion for help, a simple hand motion for okay, thumbs up kind of thing. Just a few different hand shapes or motions, a simple sign language, if you will, to be able to communicate at distance, so that if you are, or to alert someone if you're not able to verbalize it. And actually, give me an intelligence. Let's see.
Me?
Yeah, give me. Let's see. What should we do? Give me. I know you're not proficient in this, but give me an intelligence arcana.
Oh, okay. I am still one level exhausted. Yes.
You are, yes. So you can try this now, but you could also try it again in the morning when you're rested. So we give it a go now, and you'll see. 10. That's all right. You're learning. You learn the basics very very simply, and you're able to use it. And we'll work out exactly what those are, and we can use them roleplay wise. You also start to think about how this could be used. These sort of hand motions. And you wonder if there's some other purpose or use that you can use. But at the moment, you're so exhausted, your mind is not able to kind of really, you need a bit of rest before you can clearly think about this. But you start to wonder if maybe there's some other hand gestures you can do. So, is there anything else you would like to do or say before you potentially take a rest?
Amorous is going to not do it in front of the others, really, but he wants to kind of study this wooden mask.
Sure.
Like studying the features, see if he can find out anything about this thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you can spend a little bit of time in the evening. Your hand will be gone for a little while, trying to talk to everyone in the town and before you come back. So in your general sort of tired and badly injured way that you are currently, I would say you've got a few hours. You can rest, you can eat before he will return, or you can speak to him perhaps in the morning. I'll leave that up to you. But yes, you can spend some time this evening, an hour or so, tuning to this mask if you want to. I presume that's what you're doing. You're tuning to it, or are you just looking at it just to kind of get an idea about it?
Well, I was going to look at it, try to study it, and see if I could even tell if it was magical or not.
Okay.
If it was magical, I was actually planning to attune to it, so
okay,
that
so
wouldn't work out.
So just looking at it, just studying it, the mask is it's an ornate mask. It looks elvish, the face of it, and very similar to how you saw it on the Fire Wraith before. It has this almost a regal, sort of elven face on the front of it. But whereas it was sort of twisted before, it looks more serene now. It's made of a sort of a dark ashen wood, and it's slightly, although the face is more serene, the actual wood itself has sort of warped a little bit. Mainly because of being in close proximity to this the violet fire that was there as well. But you notice as you're looking at it as well, there are sort of it's etched on the inside with some of the sort of runes sort of burnt onto it, like that you saw. Actually, give me an Arcana roll just to sort of see if you recognize anything about them.
I had a feeling they would have some form of runes. Arcana, was it? Yep.
It's unfair. You must have some sort of
Oh,
sense.
one.
Number one. It's got some.
One haunts me as much as Quack's D20s.
You get some. You look at the inside and you're like, oh, there's some scratchy marks on the inside. Oh well. Okay. So, anything else you know about this just by looking at it? There's nothing else that really stands out to you. It's a wooden mask. I'd say elven. It's warped. It's got some like etchings or runes sort of like burnt onto the inside of it. If you want to be able to identify it being magical, you'll actually need to use the identify spell or something like that. But you can't tell if it's magical just by looking at it alone. Of course, if you are quite happy to attune to it, then you can attune to it and you'll also discover the information, but it just depends if you have identify.
Well, I do not, and Amorous will take a mental note of the runes, and while he first thinks of...
Well, you've got a natural one, so you don't really know that they're runes. You kind of like, they look like squiggles. You need to study them a bit more if you want to actually run down. Because you got a natural one, so...
Yeah, because he was planning to call over Galatea and ask if she could tell anything as a fellow, well, magic-focused caster. But he was also going to not do it today because, yeah, maybe not the best moment. Everyone needs to fucking rest their bloody minds.
Galatis just sat on the couch staring into space.
Okay.
So you can poke her or you can leave her to it. That's what she's doing.
I think Sahana will also come to you, to each of you in turn as well, and offer you food and drink as well. Knowing that her brother has a fondness for you, Galatia, I think she will put an arm around you and offer you comfort as well.
Galatia really just tenses.
She won't push it. She'll offer it, but if it's not, she will just leave you be. But yeah, is there anything else you'd like to do? Or do you want to take a rest of any sort?
I will take a rest.
Moira is at some random moment just kind of while we're just existing in this bubble of sadness. She's gonna absentmindedly put her hands in the apron pockets. Just not even partially not even realizing it herself, and then she just there's something there in the pockets.
What is it?
She pulls out 3 new mushrooms. DM, remind me, was the third one a mushroom or just a random plant or just a plant?
I'm trying to remember what it was now. I think
the dragon's blood, was it a plant or a mushroom?
it was a mushroom as well.
Okay, so it was like 3 mushrooms. And she just kind of looks at them, and then this like, ding, just this revelation comes to her thanks to the apron. And very quickly, she grabs a piece of paper and her quill, and she scribbles something on it. And randomly, who is the closest person to her physically? Who's like within arm's reach?
I don't know. Who is sitting next to Moira?
If Moira's
I'm letting
around
the others decide.
Kane, then it would probably be Tisvan, because he would stay by his side.
Okay. Moira is gonna hand the paper to Tisvan, and it says BRB going to the apothecary. And she's gonna bolt out of the house.
The little smoke ring.
Yes.
Tisvan's just gonna stare at this note for a bit, and then Moira's going to the apothecary.
Wait, she
reason.
can't go along.
I'm going out now.
No.
You guys stay here. I'll go after her. Make sure she's safe. And then
Sounds good.
Tisvan will just put a hand on Kane's shoulder, and then just run after Moira as fast as he can.
Okay.
I mean,
We're
you are
heavily
faster
trailed.
than Moira, so
I mean, you're barely the length of my legs, so yes.
exactly.
So Moira dashes, followed by a slow pacing Tisvan. Her legs are going 10 to the dozen, but you're just having basically a pleasant stroll behind, just keeping pace.
Yes.
Um,
I
Awesome.
see Moira with freaking sonic legs.
yeah. Okay, so you guys head off to the apothecary. As you cross the town, you see Johan basically on a soapbox in the middle of town, speaking to all the townsfolk. You can see him explaining what's happened. You can see the devastation of the collapsed tree. The people are obviously very agitated. They're crying. They're very upset about this tree disappearing, but also being the revelation that the princess has been watching them, and that the Scarwood Guard, who they thought were there to protect them, some may have had their own thoughts about the Scarwood Guard, whether bad or good. But they know Johan. They trust him. They trusted his father, and when he gives them this revelation, even those that saw you and may have still been questioning about whether you actually murdered all of the Scarwood Guard or whether you were just bringing the bodies out because somebody else did, he manages to convince everyone that essentially, something has gone wrong. The princess, they knew that the reason why they have this part of the Feywild has been cornered off was because of her, but they didn't realize that something has happened to her, that beyond just being cut off because of decisions she'd made, there is something more sinister going on. There is something that has changed. She is not the same person that she used to be. The princess was well loved, well liked in this area, and as Johan said before, his father had become aware and seemed to know something more about, or had suspicions about the princess, but what they were, he had not divulged specifically to Johan. But as you go across, you head into the Garden of Solve, and as you enter, you see a mushroom person standing behind the counter. And this is Cremini, who you have met previously. And as you come in, she stands up from her chair, a little bit hunched over, a little bit creaking, and trying to stand upright. And she looks across at you from the counter. I'm just remembering what her voice sounds like. How did she speak? Well, it is so good to see you, my dears. And how can I help you?
Moira kind of gives, because her arms are sort of full, because she didn't put the mushrooms away.
All right,
just carrying
them around.
So she just kind of gives half of a wave and then puts the mushrooms onto the table or the counter.
Oh, my dear.
And then just very, very excitedly kind of jittering around, like pointing
and
at
pointing.
them, like, look.
Well, these are most interesting, the ones you have brought us. Oh,
And
these
then-
look very interesting indeed. Are these for sale? Have you brought them here for me?
On a piece of paper, Moira's gonna write, and then kind of hesitates because now she's like, what's the word? Not reconsidering the order of choices that she just made, but like, kind of, it says glass bottles ?
She'll look at the note, spy down, squinting her eyes to read your note, and she looks and says, "Oh, my dear, of course I can, of course, provide you with these simple things. You wish to make your own potions, perhaps? I have.
Mara nods.
Cremini has many bottles and things. Do you already know the purpose for these?"
Moira takes out the dragon's blood and leaves the 2 scarlet fey caps and the other common mushroom, and then writes healing potion.
Yes, that is very wise of you. The scarlet caps are very common in this place, and they would make very good potions. But what is this? And she picks up the I haven't written down what it was. Was it dragon blood?
Dragon's blood.
Dragon's blood. Said, "Oh, this is very rare. Where on earth did you find this? Was it perhaps from your apron?"
She nods.
A wonderful item. And do you know what to do with this? I wonder.
Sort of hesitantly writes on the paper. Fancy magic ink.
She smiles and looks down at you. Ah, you are a quick study, I see. It is most pleasing to me to find another person as interested in apothecaries and herbalism as myself. And she wanders across to the shelves behind her, and she takes a selection of bottles and how many bottles would you like?
Above the table question, would I know that the 3 mushrooms for the healing potion, would I know that, like, how many bottles they make? I assume that the 3 make 1 bottle.
That's correct, yeah. So
Okay.
from the recipes that you have intuned from the apron, you know that you need 3 of the type of mushrooms to be able to make 1 potion. But obviously, if you wanted to buy more, if you want to make more potions, you'll need more bottles, or use that potion so that you relinquish the bottle again.
Yeah, Moira's just gonna, like, with her mouse fingers, just 1.
Oh, of course, I can give you this. I don't know, the voice, I cannot remember how it goes. That's why it keeps changing.
It's okay.
I can let you have this 1 bottle. It is. Consider it a thank you for the things you have done in this place. I have heard stories of what you have done here, and I believe that perhaps we will have a good relationship as we go forward. If there are ever any time where you have an excess of these mushrooms or other herbal items, please feel free to come back and we can trade, and perhaps even I can teach you how to make certain things. And she hands you over the glass bottle that has a cork and a stopper ready to go in it as well.
Moira kind of takes a moment and writes out, sorry for any potential trouble caused.
She looks down and, no trouble at all. You have perhaps made things a little more interesting around here anyway. It can get quite stuffy, you know, being caught between worlds and not being able to explore the Feywild as we once did. Please feel free to cause more nuisance to other places as well. I'm sure many people would appreciate your touch. If there is ever anything else I can do, will always be here.
Does she have to show me how to make the potion?
No, when you get the mushroom in the morning from it, you automatically learn the potion. So you will do rolls, as I've said before, about like on the quality and how well you do the potion. But the actual knowledge you gain from the apron, as you have done for these particular things as well. You might not always be in the same, a different recipe, essentially, but she can probably teach you other things as you find other items, because you'd say there's no guarantee that you'll learn all of the different recipes for the items that you get. You may get the same one every time you get these mushrooms, if it happens to work in this one as well. But if there are more rare types of potion that you can make, then you might require her to instruct you. But if you bring her like you did, then bring her mushrooms, and she'll ask you if you know what they are, and then you can negotiate.
Okay. Moira does like a small bow and like in thanks.
And she gives you a little nod and a bow backwards as well.
And then takes
Take
the
care,
things.
and don't forget to try and your writing is your handwriting is beautiful, but please make sure you look after yourself and see if you can find a cure for your own ailment as soon as you can.
Moira does like a little blush and quickly writes out oh god, I had that in my mind and now I forgot. Oh no. That is the next step in our journey.
Perfect. And she nods and very good.
And then Moira turns around and kind of jumps back a little bit because she did not notice Tisman following her. She thought she was alone.
How the fuck do you miss the clang, clang, clang?
Overexcited.
She's
gibbering.
Very focused at the moment.
Very distracted.
Tisvan will just look down at Moira and say, don't run off on your own again. If you need to go do something, ask one of us to accompany you. We shouldn't split up one-on-one. Come on, let's head back to the others. And then just turn out the door.
Oh, okay. She does a little like I guess whisper, even though no sound comes out, but it's like a little sorry, and then follows.
Perfect. All right, and are you going to head back to the Eristry estate?
I assume yes.
That is where Tisvan's going, at least.
Keep an eye on the mouse. Okay, so while they went off to do that,
Galatia has a thing.
Oh yeah, sure. Yep, go for it.
So a few moments after they both leave, Galatia also gets up. It's like, ooh, we should get more paper so she can keep this up and stuff. I'm going to the. Can you show me where the
Nico?
store is?
Yeah, he will probably have some paper. Sure, I can accompany you. Sahana, could you keep an eye on Kane, I guess?
She nods and she gives you a hand gesture, which means that she'll keep her eyes on you. Eyes on Kane, which is essentially the pointing at her eyes and pointing down at his eyes.
Okay.
That love watching you kind of thing.
I'm watching you. I'm watching the dead guy. Make sure he doesn't run off. Right, okay.
All right. So when they run out to do that, you guys also leave to go to Nico's Knacks.
Yep.
Okay. So you head there. You go in and Nico is busy just organizing things as he usually is behind the counter. And when you come into the door, he looks across at you, Amros, again in recognition, and he said, "Oh, hello, sir. Welcome to the Nico's Knacks again. It's a pleasure to see you. You'll frequent here many, many times, and you've brought a friend with you this time. Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, madam."
I mean, one gotta introduce a good store, right?
Of course,
And
of
we were
course.
looking for some papers.
Papers? Yes. What, any particular kind of papers? Do you want parchment for spells, writing paper, toilet paper. What would you like?
Just like any little small scraps and parchments.
Yes, I can find something like that. Yes, like a notepad of some sort.
Yeah, that's perfect. Do you? And Galatea gets a little distracted, just starting to look around the place. Are there any thieves' tools around?
Yeah, you can have a little look around. You can have a look around. Nico will ask, is there anything else specific you're looking for? I'm sure I can. Well, there's a whole load of things in here, and it's usually quite difficult to find them. If I can help you in any way, I can usually put my hands on things.
Galatea fishes out her healer's kit, which is nearly empty, and asks, "Can you help me fill this up? Is this something you have?"
Yes, I can probably do something like that. Usually it's the apothecary has all the healing equipment, but we do trade backwards and forwards, and I do have one here somewhere, I suppose. Let me just have a little look. And he'll run off and he'll bring back some more supplies, some more healing kits that you can use. How many do you have left?
I'm not sure. I had made notes of it, but in the last bit, it's sort of reset itself, so I can't tell.
Oh, okay. I think you'd use a few, didn't you? Because you'd use.
I've used a fair few, so I think I'm probably nearly out, if not completely out.
Okay, so he could. I think the standard is 10, isn't it? It comes with.
Yes.
Yeah, so he could probably top you back up to 10 again.
Okay.
And you wanted thieves' tools as well.
Yes.
Yes.
It's preferably if she can just sort of come across them.
Oh, okay.
And look for them.
Yes, sure. So while he is going and looking around, give me an investigation check to see if you can find what you're looking for.
Can I find that?
Can I give her advantage by assisting in searching?
It depends if he's going to tell you what she's looking for. Do you tell Amros what you're looking for?
I'm not sure she knows what she's looking for.
Okay.
Just sort of a general scan of like useful items that are lying around.
Okay. So Galatea is like looking around. She hasn't mentioned anything specifically to you about what she's looking for. So I'd say this is just a straight roll as well.
Yeah, I would also say that's a straight because then he doesn't know what she's after.
Yeah. So you look around. There is stuff everywhere in this shop. It's very much a bric-a-brac. There are places where there are drawers, and you open the drawers, and there are things in there. There's probably some organization in Nico's mind about where things are and should be. But looking around with an 11, you it's difficult. There's so much stuff here. At one point you think, oh, this might be what I'm looking for, and it's just a key ring. And look over here and like, oh, this is a set. No, this is just a set of keys. And it's very, very, very mixed up. So while you're searching, you don't find any.
Yeah, I think even just looking around, it will probably trigger the idea for her, and she'll ask for the lockpicking tools, or ask if whatever random key that she found it opens more things, or just one thing. Perfect.
So yeah, he when he comes back, he'll have the healer's kit and stuff for replacement for that. When you ask him about the way of unlocking doors, he says, "Yes, I think I have something that you can use in that way. Lockpick. It's difficult. They won't open every lock because some of the locks here in the Fey have a magical element to them. But you may be able to use these." And he reaches under the counter, and he brings up a small, a narrow box that has what looks like a range of different sort of keys in them. And he takes out one particular key that just looks like a regular key, but the neck of it and the end is quite dense. It's almost like solid, looking at it straight on. But as he holds it, he sort of fans it out, and there is about 15 different types of shaped key that all sort of hinge on this one point. And hello, is any use to you?
Oh, that looks interesting. Do you have any instructions or something to practice on, maybe?
He looks at you quizzically for a moment, and he says, I suppose so. And he walks over to a door that goes to presumably some sort of back room, and he says, so you take one of these keys, and he fans them out, and you push it here into the lock, and you turn it at least, and then the door clicks and it opens. And the door opens. And if you don't open with that one, you just change to another key, and then you use that one until it does open.
Oh, okay.
And of course, this door doesn't have any magic on it, so it just opens.
So
It works like a key.
I'll just have to keep trying until it works.
Yes. You'll have to, there are many keys on here, or picks as you would call them, and you just use one until one of them works. Obviously, every lock is different, so you may be able to, over time, identify by the type of lock which one is the one to use, but generally you just use them one at a time until one of them works. As I say, if they're magic locks, then they might not work. I can't guarantee that for you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can help you with? I have many other magical, interesting items that may tickle your fancy.
Sure. What would you have? What do you recommend? I'm not sure what I'm looking for. I think we need all the help we can get. We're traveling, and just anything.
Well, looking at him idea, let me think. I have a few items that I've actually offered your friend here before. This is the only things that really stand out at the moment. Everything else that I have is kind of the standard stuff you can get anywhere, but I do have a couple of items that you might like. Let me see. So he goes around and he takes out a few bits and pieces from under his desk, and the first thing he brings out, he's looking at you, and you can see that you look, both of you look quite injured and tired. So he brings out this very beautiful chunky patchwork blanket made of like different colored shaped diamond pieces, and there are different kind of leaves sewn onto each of these little diamond shapes, and around the edge of it it's like a thick white border, so it makes a very nice sort of warm looking blanket. And he holds it up to you, and he says, "This is a beautiful blanket that will help you if as you look quite tired. If you don't mind me saying, madam, I don't wish to be rude, but both of you look like you do a good night's sleep. And so,
exhausted, yeah.
Yes. Well, this might be the perfect item for you. You see, it's beautiful. Look, please feel the quality of the material."
Garcia feels it, not knowing what to feel for, and just sort of stands there.
So as soon as you touch the material, you feel it's like warm, like it's the material. You feel the texture of it, but it feels warm to the touch. And
just get surprised and get Ross to go and feel it too.
Yeah, but yeah, it's warm, and as soon as you touch it, you immediately sort of have this sort of wave over you, and you start to feel like quite drowsy from it, like not like you're being sort of made unconscious, but it just makes you can feel it, and you feel like, oh, this is so. I'd love to have this over me, and like, oh, I could sleep for a year. That's such a comfy, warm blanket. But it sort of have this wave goes over you of a sort of a gentle, drowsy feeling. He said, this is a beautiful blanket on those cold nights. If you're traveling across the Feywild, you can snuggle up in this blanket, even without a bed, and still feel like you're getting a beautiful sleep. I had some other things, if that's not something that floats your boat. And he pulls up another item. He pulls out a small and puts it on the top of the counter, on top of the blanket as well. A small blue tortoise. It's about 7 or 8 inches in length. And on the back of the tortoise, there is a star-like pattern of like sort of orange tiles on the shell itself. And he says, now, I know what you're thinking. I don't have time for pets. Well, this pet is a little bit rare, a little bit more interesting. Because you see, you do this, and he knocks twice on the top of the shell, and the top part of the shell opens, and you can just see a black hollow space that just sort of disappears. And he says, now, what's this? And he puts his hand, shows you nothing up his sleeve, and he puts his hand down inside, impossibly deep, way further down than the tortoise and the counter is. And he pulls his hand back out, and he has a quill in his hand.
How did you do that?
Oh, well, you see, this is a very rare kind of tortoise. Doesn't need much upkeep, just a lettuce leaf or something green every now and again to keep it happy. But there's an extra-dimensional space. It's very difficult to say. A multi-dimensional space in the back of the shell. And so you can kind of use it to carry things around.
Faye, you're making this very, very difficult. I'm really trying to keep a straight face, but I'm like cracking up.
It's the Fey voices.
That gif is
So
perfect.
difficult to say.
The black book's gif is perfect. It's exactly like that. Yes, and and so you can store things in him that you might not otherwise put in other areas. It's about a 2-foot cubic space inside him. You see?
Oh, okay. And he doesn't mind?
No, he loves it. He's fine. He enjoys it. He enjoys carrying it because there's no weight. There's no weight for him. You see, it's just an extra-dimensional space. It's like a doorway in the back of his shell, and all he requires is a little bit of love and a little bit of food every now and again. I keep him down here just to store my odds and ends, like this quill, for instance. If I'm looking for a pen, you never find a pen anywhere. He has a pen ready for me and whenever I need it.
Oh, okay.
So, are either of these items of any interest, my dear?
I've never had a pet before, but that he seems useful.
He's very useful. That's very, very useful indeed. And as is the blanket. The blanket is very useful as well. It's it will allow you to let me see, what does it say on here? If there's anything I can do.
To get a good night's rest, even if it's cold and uncomfortable.
He doesn't give you exactly all the information about it, because I don't know if he actually knows all the information about it. But above table, it will allow you benefits of a short rest in a much shorter period of time.
Huh. Okay.
As well as having a few other benefits to it as well.
I see.
So I would love it. I'd love to give you one of these items. Is any of them of interest to you, my dear?
Do you want one each, Amras? I think we should take them both. If we can.
Amro's just looking through his bag of things he can consider trade. And he's putting up the horn that he still has with candy from the carnival, as well as the wand of prestidigitation. Those are the two main things he has ready for trade. Well, I have a horn of candy from the mortal plane. Don't know if that's interesting for you. And I also have this wand that I've only used it a few times. It helps keep things clean. I think it has a spell called prestidigitation. I don't know.
Oh, well, we could use that for the mud and things. Keep that one. But the sweets are pretty rare, I think.
He'll take
Fair
the horn of the candy and he'll sort of look at it and human candy or mortal candy, maybe, and he opens it up and he takes a piece out and he just chews on it. Oh no, strawberry! Oh God, no, I hate it. And he throws it back at you. No, you can keep that. No one likes strawberry around here. No, I'm afraid this won't do, no. And a used wand? No. I can deal in things that have already been used, I'm afraid. Unless you have anything more specific to shade, I can also take a few other things from you. If you're into, I already have from you, sir, I have a name of someone. You can give me a name of someone in the mortal plane that you know, if you'd like. Or perhaps if you are agreeable, I could either take a sound from you, or perhaps an odor.
Galatea glances at Amaras at the sound, or at the information that there's already been a name given.
Avoids her gaze just a little bit. Not too guilty about it, but still.
Galatea will look back at Nico and I have something I've traded before. It seems to be desirable here.
Oh yes, what is that?
I can draw and tell stories from my world.
You see his eyes grow big. What? So you're offering me your skill of drawing or your skill of storytelling?
No.
Oh, they are very precious indeed.
I don't think the skill, but I can offer you a story.
Not quite as interesting, I'm afraid. But if you're willing to give up one of those skills, then that would be most interesting. Or I have another proposal for you, if you don't want the other ones. One other thing that I wouldn't mind. If there was a future skill, a skill yet to be learned, I wouldn't mind having that. And what that means is that you will a skill that you potentially might want to learn in the future he will take it. So, for instance, if you said to him, "Oh, what are you currently proficient in?" Let's see. Yeah, you got your specific there. So say if there was a skill that you wanted to become proficient in the future, you wouldn't be able to.
Sorry, I didn't quite hear that 'cause of the door. Was it one of my regular skills like medicine or nature or something?
Yeah, so the skills that you've got at the moment, you're proficient in 3 of them, aren't you? So you've got history, insight, and perception, and a fourth one, you've got stealth as well. So essentially what would happen is if you were going to trade one, would mean that you would basically be blocked from gaining any additional points in that particular skill. He would basically gain the benefit of them somehow, but you would basically give up any future points in that particular skill.
Okay.
Or he's offering that would basically pay for, I think, everything. Or he would be able to trade with you for some of the items for either a random sound from you or a random body odor, or something else if you've got something else that you wish to trade. He's not so interested in a drawing or a story. That's not something that he's interested in. He's more about sort of material things and skills.
I think Galatea will offer one of their not yet learnt skills.
Okay, and which one would you like to offer?
If I give you something that will likely be quite useful for me, will you give me both items?
Oh, well, both are magical items. Well, if this is something that will be very useful to you, then it should be more profitable for me. Yes, if you would like to give me something that is more precious to you, then yes, I think I could probably do that. Yes. What exactly is it that you are going to give me?
Considering what I've just bought, I think this confirms it. My sleight of hand skill.
Sleight of hand? Oh, well, you've got a +2 at the moment, okay. All right.
It says, sleight of hand. The ability to move your hands, be able to do something secretly. Very interesting. If you're willing to give up this future skill, then yes, I think I can deal with that.
And he holds out his hand for you to shake.
I just realised I'm gonna need that for the lockpicking, aren't I? I have one other proposal.
Okay.
How about my survival?
Survival? Oh, the ability to track and the ability to find your way. Now that is very useful for me in the Feywild. That might even be able to make me be able to find my way out. Yes, I can do it for survival as well. Lead 2 magical items, of course. Take an old sinner's hand, and we'll make the deal.
Okay.
That reference.
Deal. And
you shake his hand?
Galatea shakes.
Excellent, well done.
And he shakes your hand, and your survival skill is now blocked at 2. You cannot gain any additional points in that skill.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. He hands you both of those items, and I will send you the details of them momentarily.
That's it. It looks damn grim.
You now have a blanket of napping and a utilitotus. Or
Utilitotus.
utilitois.
Utilitois.
But he also still wants payment for the lockpicks and the healing kits as well, though.
Oh, yes.
Those might I will be able to trade with you for some item, or I still have a need for sounds and smells.
I will just look what we have in items.
Nobody seems to want to do my trade for sounds and smells. You'd think that people would be quite willing to give those up. They're not things we use very often. But they do have such a very high price.
But what do they leave in their place?
Oh, some arbitrary sounds, some random thing. Who knows? It might be beneficial. For instance, just think that every time that you stepped, you heard the sweet sound of a purring kitten. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be beneficial? Or when you let out a yawn. Perhaps you every time you yawn, you would hear the sound of singing, of beautiful birds singing. Oh, that would be beautiful. You could pretend that you were a bird singing in the morning light.
And are those guaranteed?
Oh, of course not. No. It would be dependent on the person. Likewise with the odors in your body. Perhaps maybe the smell. Maybe in your morning. Maybe you wake up early and you have terrible morning breath. Wouldn't it be nice if it smelled like cinnamon or freshly brewed coffee? Or that would make your day much more bright, wouldn't it? Knowing that people wouldn't be smelling your horrible breath first thing in the morning.
Just listening to this, Ambrose just thinks back to one of the markets he visited when he was younger. Imagining one of the merchants he ran into that for some reason every time he yawned he sounded like a cat.
Yes, very cute, just like that. I'm sure you would enjoy any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
More price to pay.
Do you trade in colors?
Oh yes, I can trade in colors if you'd like that. What colors will you be able to give me? Colors of your hair? Colors of your eyes? Of your blood, maybe?
Galatea sort of starts leaning in and then realizes that that's pointless. This has been my hair color for since I was small. But if you take it, will it leave what was originally there, or will it leave another color?
Oh, if this is a dyed color, then I would not be able to take that. But I would take the original color, your natural color of your hair.
Oh.
So if you have it dyed, you probably wouldn't see any difference.
Galatea sort of touches just the roots, which are showing at this point just a slight blue tint.
Yes, so I would take that color, and as soon as the dye has worn off, then you would have no color there anymore.
Oh, how about the sound of sneeze?
Yes, I can take that. Would be great. Yes, if you're willing to say that.
And how much paper and tools can I get for for that.
Oh, you can have all the medkits, the key kit, how many notepads would you like?
As many as you've got, I think.
I have three. I have three on me. So I have three notepads, and they have quite a lot of paper in them, so it should last for quite some time. And I'll also give you the healing kits, the medicine kits, and the lockpicks. Is that a fair deal for just a simple sound?
Okay.
Sure. Then shake my hand, dear, and we'll make the deal.
Gautier doesn't hesitate this time. It's just done.
Yes. Oh, good deal, Stuck. Right. Just 1 second. And he'll push the things across the items to you, and he'll go off underneath the table, and he'll bring out a small little container that he has like a pop-up lid on the top of it, and he just hands it to you and says, "Yes, if you could just sneeze into that, please."
Gautier looks a little confused for a minute, and then like pinches
Don't question it.
the note, like the one nostril, until she sneezes.
Okay, so you sneeze, even just saying "achoo," that would be fine. But yes, you make the noise or the sneeze into the container, and he quickly caps down the lid and seals it, and he takes it away.
And yes, very, very good. And let's just replace it with another noise now, one of my other ones.
And he'll get another container, and he'll from the same shelf, labeled slightly differently, and he'll bring it up to you, and he says,
"This was taken off of someone over the course of however many eons I've been here, and so I'm not quite sure exactly what is in here. I didn't make many notes at the time, but here you are. Here's one for you to replace your own sound."
And he will hold it up to you, and he'll just open the top of the jar. Can you give me? Can you roll a D8 for me?
Okay. Seven.
I'm
I'm sure you will have fun with this.
So, whenever you sneeze now, you hear the noise of a dripping tap.
Okay.
So as you sneeze, you hear. I don't know if that picks up.
That's a weird one.
Nope.
Oh, perfect.
Like that. So now when you sneeze, when you sneeze, if that ever happens, you now have the sound of a dripping tap instead.
Nice.
Which actually works with the nose. If you have a runny nose as well and you sneeze, then you might have the sound of a dripping tap. So there you go.
That's perfect.
But yes, you have now received those items and replenished your other items there. So I will send you the information for these two things. Is there anything, Amros, that you want to do while you're here?
I'm trying to think, but no, I'm debating on showing him the mask, but I kind of want to take that to your hand first. Yeah, I think I will take it to your hand first, if anything.
Sorry, what are you saying to Johan?
The mask.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was thinking of having Nico identify it, but if it's, like I said, a Guardian mask, it might be better to show it to your hand first, in case, I think.
You look thoughtful, Amorous. Was there anything you needed? I'm sorry, I grabbed everything.
No, it's fine. I might come back for one thing, but I wanted to have a quick discussion with Johan first. I say we'll see. I won't say in the morning, but you can never bloody tell here.
Oh, I think I can tell if we go outside.
I think Mary tried to explain it to me as well, but it went over my head. Something about the moons.
Yeah. Thank you, Nico.
You're very welcome, my dears. Lovely to see you. Please come again.
Yeah. And Galatea leaves.
I still owe you an hour, but yeah, we know that you're just grabbing when you somehow feel like it. I still
Yes.
don't understand how that works.
It's
I'll see you,
fine.
Nico.
You don't need to know anything about it. It's fine. Just whenever you need me, where you want to use it, just call out my name and I will come.
Take care, man. And
Bye.
I follow after Galatea.
As we get outside, Galatea is gonna use the necklace and try and work out what the time is.
Okay, so yeah, it is basically you can tell from that it's coming up to sort of what you would call evening time. So it's not too long before you imagine people will be turning into bed.
It's evening now. Look, and Galatea will try and explain sort of how the necklace works.
Yes.
Just everything happens.
Yeah, I will write this up on the Discord for you so that you can look at it when you're going in there. But essentially, it depends on the moons and the time of the year that you're on. If I can just find it here.
I love the
quickly,
fact that I
I'll-
actually got my notes on that, and I can't even read my own notes because I can't make sense of them.
Let me have a quick look in here and see what I wrote down. Okay, so you're currently in the month of Penumbran, which is
you don't have to do it now. It's just like we'll pass on the knowledge.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I was just going to quickly just give you an overview of what it is. So Penumbran is the month you're currently in, the month of Twilight. That's why it's Twilight here now at the moment. And basically there are a number of days where you have different moons, and so the combination of the moons and the month gives you different days, which would indicate how many hours there are within a day, because they're not all 24. But yes, I will post that somewhere so you can have a look at it. Fine. So are you guys going to be heading back to the Eristria estate, I assume, as well?
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
While we walk, Galatea is just gonna check in with Russ. What was it you needed to show? Is it secret?
I'll show you back at the estate. I think that's the smarter thing.
Okay.
Okay. So I would say essentially whether it's similar time or whether one after the other, eventually all of you all reconvene at the Eristria estate. Sahana has kept a watchful eye over Kane, and
She's just standing there staring.
just standing there doing the whole like watching your eyes constantly. And when you come in, she it is later in the evening now. You only know because of course it's twilight, so Galatea will instruct you, but you're all feeling very tired and obviously still injured heavily from the day. And Sahana again offers you food, drink, and offers you rooms to rest in should you wish.
Yep. Would like to do all of that.
Same.
Okay, does anyone else want to do anything else before you have a long rest?
Amorous. I need to see the thing. Show me the thing.
Show me the money.
Money,
No,
money.
just whip it out. Come on.
I'm the number one person you should not say that to, but okay. So Ambrose just puts the mask on the table and just go, I grabbed this from the tower. Considering that whatever that thing was, called it a form of guardian before it took it over. I wanted to show it to Johan first to know if it's a ceremonial thing or if it's actually like a previously living guardian.
Oh, can I try something?
Sure. As far as I can tell, it was mainly just a wooden mask, but one never knows, especially in this place.
Galatea brings out a book and flicks through it. It's her spell book. You've probably seen her with it before. And she's just flicking through it until she reaches a certain page, and then she starts reading from it while touching the mask, and casts Identify.
Perfect. So yeah, the description as before is a an ashen wood elven mask, a very regal elven face on it, but slightly twisted from its usual shape. You identify it as a mask that can be worn, and
Oh wait, do I need a pearl for it?
oh, is that
It's got a material cost.
Does
then
it
yes.
have the price included?
100 gold pieces. Yeah.
So you
What I-
need,
For
you will need it.
Identify?
Yeah, apparently.
Yep.
What?
But hang on a minute. But once you've got it, you can use it all the time though. It's the same as the diamond that
That I needed.
yeah,
for
that
my
you need
spell,
as
yeah.
well. So if you want, we can retcon. You can maybe get a pearl off of Nico.
Off of Nico, yeah.
Yeah.
If this yeah, I didn't realize that I had any spells that needed anything.
So I will say you can either switch it for one of the items that you got, or you can offer him something else as a payment.
We can do this.
Or I mean, it doesn't
was
have to be
gonna-
you. It doesn't have to be you. If you have bought all those things, you maybe, or perhaps you could have shared that load that you were buying with Amros. But either way,
Yeah, that was what I was gonna get to. I could have traded my morning breath for the tortoise, for example, to balance it out.
Oh, just for the pearl that works because I got those two for one thing.
okay. So you want to do a smell as well?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So if you give me a was it D8? I think it said.
Yes.
So yeah. So you would have done the same thing. You would have breathed into the jar
Yes.
as well. Okay. Oh, good. A good different number. That is. Right. Let me just find the form.
Well, mine was the sound anyway.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yours was. I forgot. Oh yeah. Oh, so I need 2 rolls from you actually. Not the same roll. They're not the same dice. Just give me 1 second and I'll find the. Forgot. Yeah, it was a sound that you did. Where is the information that I am looking for? Nico's next. Okay. Okay, so it was a 5 you rolled,
Yes.
was it? Okay, and then can you give me a D4 roll?
A free.
3. Okay.
Freedom.
Your morning breath is replaced with a perfumed, which I presume is just sort of like not super strong, but like if you smell a perfume, like it's quite strong if you're close to someone. But a perfumed sense of coffee. So now when you your morning breath now smells like quite strong freshly roasted coffee.
Oh, how better.
That's amazing.
So perfect. Yeah.
Thank
So
you for the
so
warning.
you did that as a trade for one of the items, whatever it might be. Presume it's the pearl. So you now have a pearl to be able to do your this and future investigations, or sorry, identify.
Identify, I think she said.
Yeah. Perfect. Let me just have a quick look.
This is why you should tell people things, Runic.
Well, I was
Perfect.
trying
All right.
to go in for the role play of it.
Yeah. Excuses.
Okay.
Excuses.
So it's one. So once you've concentrated and you're using this identify spell with the pearl that you've got as well, you discover that while you're attuned to this mask, and it is the mask of the Hollow Flame. You don't know any sort of historical stuff about it, like whether it was part of this fire wraith, or whether it is somewhere else. All you know is it is the mask that was worn by this creature, which has sort of shrunk down to your size. It has a few benefits. It has, if the wearer will get fire resistance, you can cast Hellish Rebuke once after a long rest, which means as a reaction, when you are damaged by a creature within 60 feet of you, you can cast the spell Hellish Rebuke at 2nd level with a DC of 13. The flames are violet and whisper with ancient elven speech as they erupt. When you wear the mask, there are faint tongues of purple fire that dance along its edges, and the eyes glow dimly. And one other thing that it can do, you can perform flame scrying with it once per long rest. As an action, you can see through any open flame that you have seen within the last 24 hours, as if using the clairvoyance spell. The flame must be large enough to be noticeable, as sort of at least a torch size, and the effect lasts up to 10 minutes and does not require concentration.
Wow.
Okay,
So
I
if
grabbed
you-
the rough notes of that, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, I will.
listen back to.
I will
grab
copy
the whole thing of that.
I can copy and paste the details for you into your chat, so you'll be able to see it.
Appreciate that.
You hear a ghostly voice on the wind. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's so cool. It's like I'll just leave it as a death mask for Kane. Just put it on his face and bury him with it. There you go. I don't need that. But yes,
It's all fun and games until the fire in the next tavern starts yelling, "I'm still alive!"
that's it.
God.
So let me just there we go. Right, I'll just send you the details of that on there, and then you can have a look at that at your leisure. That one, this one. I think that's it, isn't it? Oh. Okay, I just messaged you the details of it, but these items I will put into either D&D Beyond or on here, so you can actually add them to your character, so you get the information. But it's there for the moment in case you don't. Perfect. All right. So with that, are you all likely to take a long rest now, or are you anything else you want to do?
I would like to make or attempt to make the healing potion.
You want to make the potion? Okay, perfect. All right, let me bring up the details of
I
that.
take out my herbalism kit from my backpack. And what do I need?
I just give me 1 second. I'm just looking up the information for you. I thought I'd written it out, but I'm going to have to quickly look it up. All right, so you're going to. Do you have all the items you need?
I have 3 types of any plant. I'm gonna be using the 2 Scarlet Fey caps and the shiitake mushroom.
That's right. Yes,
I
you had that one
have-
as well. I remember
I
now.
have the bottle.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
then I assume I can get water from somewhere.
Yes, you could be able to get water from Sahana or from somewhere local anyway. Okay. See. So yes, you need any 3 of those mushrooms, empty bottle, non-viscous liquid, and proficiency with herbalism or alchemist supplies, which you have. All right. All right. All right. So it says make a proficiency roll with either your herbalism kit or your so it's herbalism kit. To determine the potency of your potion.
Okay. How exactly do I do that?
So you just roll.
Do I just roll?
It's your roll plus your proficiency in herbalism. So let me see what we've got for herbalism.
Proficiency +2.
Yes. So +2. Yes. So you'd add that on.
Okay. I'm just gonna do I'm gonna roll a 1d20.
Yep.
And then +2, so 14.
14. Okay. So you make a standard potion of healing. So you now have a standard potion of healing, which is 2d4 +2 healing to anyone who drinks it.
Nice.
So yes, you put the mushrooms in, you boil them, you brew them, you this knowledge that you have gained from taking the mushrooms from the apron itself, you are now able to know exactly the right temperature to boil the water, in what particular order you need to put in the mushrooms, how finely you have to grind them down or cut them to make them into exactly the right consistency for making it. And as you put them into the clear liquid, and you raise the temperature and you wait there, finally adding in any other minor ingredients to it, you'll see that this clear liquid momentarily turns to a soft pink and then finally to a red color. And you have successfully made a potion of healing.
Woo!
Well done.
What was the
2d4 +2, I think I said, didn't I?
Okay. Yep.
Just double checking. I put it down and then I just make sure that the plus is right. 2d4 +2, yes. Correct. But yes, you use all the mushrooms up in that time. So those mushrooms that you had, and like I said before, there is a freshness duration as well, but you've used them within the time limit, so there was no problem with that. Okay.
Awesome.
Everyone ready for a long rest?
Yep.
Okay. Then feel free to all have a long rest, update your stats, and regain your health.
I'm no longer bloodied.
Similar to another night when Galatea is fairly confident that most people are asleep. Just gonna try and go and knock on your aunt's room.
You creep down the corridor. Do you want to give me a stealth check to see if you can get there? I presume, Tisvan, you are meditating again, as you were previously. So let's see if he notices you. Or 12. Give me a what's your passive perception, Tisvan?
Let me check. See, I have a +0 in wisdom, but I am. I think it's a 12 according to this.
12? Okay, so if it's a 12 as well, then that means that you are aware of Galatea as she sneaks out the room. Whether you do anything about that is up to you.
Tisfin will probably follow just to see what she's doing because, well, with what's happened lately, he doesn't really like the group splitting up too much.
Okay. So are you doing it in a stealthy way as well, so that she doesn't hear you?
A bit, yeah.
Okay, so you roll now me for stealth to see if Galatea senses that you're following her.
I love this.
That's a 5.
Probably.
So as you stand up, you go cling, cling, cling. So you see Galatea step out of the room and slowly start to wander down the corridor. But as you do, Galatea, you suddenly hear movement behind you, and you turn to see Tisfin looking around the corner, watching you slowly walk in that direction.
Galatea will probably have bumped into something. Like, oh, I'm just sorry, knock this over. I'm just going to bathroom. You didn't mean to interrupt you. You go back to sleep.
Yeah, no, Tisfin's not going to question that. He'll just nod and go back to meditating.
Okay, perfect. And do you continue?
Yeah,
or do you turn around and go, there's actually I've got an ensuite. Yeah, I'm going back in again.
Galatea will go into the bathroom very briefly, probably shorter than than anyone would, and we'll go back to just very quietly knock on the door.
So you're going to continue down the hallway?
Yeah, just
and are you trying to be stealthy again?
Yep.
Okay, give me another stealth check then to see if you can then continue without alerting Tisfin again. And I like Tisfin decide whether or not he's if he does hear you, whether he does anything about that as well.
Well, actually, Galatea's just gonna go good night, and then just walk back as if she's going to her room, but
right. Okay.
When he's not looking, go into the other one.
Okay. Your rooms are not together; they're down the end of the hall, so it will be obvious you're not going to your room, I guess, because you're going down the hall. But I'll say I think Tisford is aware that you're moving around, but he doesn't know exactly where you're going because he's not looking. He's got his eyes closed. So
yeah. So just when she's confident that he's probably got his eyes closed,
you go behind the door and you do the walk where you bend your knees like you're going downstairs. Like, I'm just going down the stairs now.
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere else. Perfect. You knock on the door and there is no response.
Good. Gonna try and peek inside.
Yeah. You crack open the door. It doesn't look like his bed has been slept in. He has not returned home yet. Do you return to your room or do you stay there? Hello? Have you muted yourself?
Did we lose Valadomi?
Hello? Is there anybody there? Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, she's just gonna sit down at the end of the hall, fold her knees, and put her head against them for a minute, or for a while. Just sit there for 20 minutes, and wait if he comes back, and if not, she'll go back into her room.
Okay. You sit there and you wait to see if he comes back again. You hear movement, maybe just tossing and turning from Sahana's room, which is opposite his. But after 20 minutes or so, he has not returned.
She'll wipe her cheeks and go back to her room.
Okay.
And sleep.
Okay. And yeah, so you all then will have a peaceful night's sleep and feel very well rested. Moira, give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Normal, like no disadvantage or anything.
No disadvantage, no.
Okay. Please be better than the 2 other times. Okay, 15.
Okay, no worries. Let me just look at my notes here.
Oh god.
Moira transforms.
Moira, you can
Not
speak,
yet.
but unfortunately it comes out as a growl. No.
Not yet. I am not ready.
Let me just. I can't find anything today.
Suddenly, Moira has the underjaw of a bear. Try to shoot her breakfast now.
Big underbite. Big old.
It's a lot better than the 2 previous times. So I guess.
Yeah, I think it's
things are
fine.
not
I'm
going worse.
struggling to find the information I want. So
Oh no.
I think I had this last time where I was looking at it, but I didn't copy the information that I wanted. I've kept forgetting it. Yes, it's good. So you wake up. You still can't talk, and your tongue is still black. But no other nothing else seems to be different. You feel better than you did when you went to bed. In terms of you don't feel injured anymore, and you don't feel as tired. So you wake fresh in the morning. But one thing that you do notice when you wake up, now I presume Moira like disrobes from her normal kind of outfit that she would be wearing at night, and then she dons it again in the morning. In terms of, I presume that you don't sleep in the apron.
No, I don't think I would.
No.
In these like sleeping in your hand's house now.
No. But when you do wake up in the morning and you get changed, you notice a protrusion from the pocket of your foraging apron.
That was actually I was gonna do that next. Like I put my hand in the pocket.
give me a give me a excuse me. What was it, a D20 roll? I think it was. Who said? Let me just double check my notes here.
I literally looked at the apron and.
Oh no, sorry. It's a D8.
D8. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, 8. Legendary. All right. So now I need to have a look on this chart. Okay, where are we?
Too many spreadsheets.
Yes, the was it that one? Oh, hang on. This one. Oh no, it's the same. Okay. Yeah, you have now got a fly agaric. Fly agaric mushroom has grown in your mushroom pouch. This is a legendary mushroom.
Wait, hold on. How do you spell that?
Fly, F-L-Y.
F. Jeez, pen work. F-L-Y.
Agaric. A-G-A-R-I-C.
Okay.
And let me just have a quick look in here and see if you learn a different spell from that. Look in here. So it might be easier. But this is basically one of the most rare mushrooms you're going to be able to find. So that's quite fortuitous that you rolled that.
Why is it so rare? Is it because it's like humanish?
I guess so. It's just an uncommon one from like they don't grow here in the Feywild very often. So if you do find them, they are extremely difficult. It could be due to do with the location where they normally grow is not accessible very much, or it might just be that they're very difficult to spot. So now what can we hit this one? So you know, yes. So okay, yeah. So you know that this mushroom is not edible, or at least you would not want to eat it. You know, you can sort of safely handle it. You'll be able to wash your hands and stuff anyway. But this is something that will it would not be good if you ingested it. You learn a potion to make a poison, and similar to the health potion. This is basically the opposite of what you've just learned. You've learned to create a potion that will heal life. This is a potion that will take life away. So very similar to it. If you make the right combination of this, you can make either just a standard weak sort of poison, or you can make something very deadly. Whether that you use that to drink or whether it is to coat a weapon, it will allow you to use that to make it. Now, does it tell me here how much you need of it? Yes, you need any three of the following items. So the fly go obviously, inky cap, giant hogweed, hellbore, henbane, mandrake. You need basically three of those. Basically the same, non-viscous liquid. So it's almost identical as to the potion that you know. It's just you use three different types of mushroom.
Okay.
But this mushroom is now it may have other uses as well because it is a legendary mushroom. But that is the potion that you have learnt. Yeah, it's like as Drew has put in there. It's your stereotypical fairy mushroom.
I just kind of look at it like, whoa. Like this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I love how excited
I have preserved a specific pocket of my bag, of my backpack, for these mushrooms.
Excellent. Well, yes, you are all now refreshed, healed, and back fighting fit. Your spells are returned. Moira, you have not got any worse, and you now have a new knowledge that you didn't have before.
And I'm no longer exhausted.
And you're no longer exhausted. Everyone is fighting fit. When you get up in the morning, you will find quite a tired-looking Johan sitting at the table. He looks like he's probably been up most of the night. He is just sipping from a cup, something akin to coffee, I think. And Sahana is sitting with him in the at the table in the kitchen area when you wake.
Galata looks decidedly grumpy when she gets out in the morning, but looks a lot less grumpy when she sees Johanna and Sahana sitting there. Grabs breakfast.
When you come in, Sahana will get up and she will motion to make some breakfast, some food for you. She'll start getting things prepared. Johan briefly sort of stands, when you come in, and then as you take a seat, he will sit back down again, and he'll just let out a sigh and sorry that I did not return last night. I have been talking most of the night with the rest of the townsfolk. There were some who wanted action taken, and it took a long time to convince people to not head off directly to the palace and the citadel and to confront the princess. I do not know how my father did this. It is a lot of work. It is more than I am used to, but these are my people now, and I will find a way to manage. He looks a little bit sheepishly at you, Galatea. I'm afraid I did have to have a few drinks with people to you understand bond, and to get people on side. We had to make sure that people were relaxed, and it is not a setback. He points to his mug of coffee, and this will see me through the rest of the day.
Yeah, just nods and smiles. Yes, of course.
How are you doing this morning? And he slides a hand over and just gently places it on the back of your hand.
I'm ready to go. Galatea sits really tensely, but doesn't move. Just glances over to the to the now two dead people in the room.
Johan takes his hand back and slowly and says, I understand. I am
Galatea
sorry.
immediately takes it.
Right. He looks back at you, and he gently clasps his fingers within yours. I am sorry that your time here has not been kind to you. I wish I could have shown you the town even but a few weeks ago before this all happened. But you may have liked this.
It's not the town's fault. We all know who's responsible.
I know that you said you must go, but I would ask that you take my sister with you?
Of course, that's the plan.
He nods. And he squeezes,
Zahana.
squeezes your hand tighter. You have become important to me, Galatea. I feel I can trust you and the rest of the party to look after her in my absence. If there was another way, if my father had still been alive, I would have followed you wherever you went. But there needs to be someone here to guide the people. Especially if we are to rise up against the queen, the princess.
Yeah, of course.
It is
Yeah.
a lot to ask, but she will be able to help you. She has not traveled as far as some, but she does have knowledge of this part of the Feywild, and I am sure she would be able to guide you enough to get where you want to go.
Yeah, it would be a great help. Thank you. Thank you, Zahana, for coming with us.
She nods and she smiles at you, and you can see she's got like a bag sort of half packed, ready, hoping that was going to be the case. Johan, are the rest of you awake at this point? Do you?
I was about to ask.
I was about to say that as soon as their conversation ends, Amros would enter the room.
And Tisvan, you only need like half the night to sleep, so I don't know if you're around or still meditating or.
Tisvan is probably by Kane's body, trying to fix up his chainmail to make him a bit more presentable for his burial.
Yeah. And Moira, do you wake up as well, or are you doing something else?
Oh, can I remember something a bit fun? Sorry, I don't mean to butt in when I'm dead.
You're dead.
Oh
Shut up.
no! It's a zombie!
Does Tisvan can he see like through the chainmail, through the like breaks in it where he had like rocks spawn on him and stuff?
Possibly. Is there something that he should be able to see?
Yes. Okay. So, firstly, Tisvan, do you know Dwarven?
No, Tisvan knows Common, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Okay, well, it's completely up to Faye whether or not Tisvan would be able to recognize Dwarven, but you'd notice that Kane actually had quite a few tattoos under his armor,
Oh?
and they're all in Dwarven.
So I'd say probably you might recognize the script as being Dwarvish, but without knowing the language, you won't be able to read it.
Tisvan, when he notices this, will call out to the others and say, Did any one of you know that Kane had tattoos? Several of them.
No.
No. I haven't really seen him out of armor.
Come and look at this. I think it might be Dwarven, but I'm not entirely sure.
Amros has a look, but he doesn't speak Dwarven either.
Galatea doesn't move. I don't. I mean, I don't know Dwarven, and I know Elvish, and you could tell if it was Elvish. Is it important? I'm sure it's just something personal.
could be important to him. Could be good to know what it says. Is my thought.
Galatea's shoulders just like tense up, and she's tearing up again.
We did buy a bunch of papers. We could write down what it looks to be saying, at least. And if we encounter a dwarf, maybe they can translate it for us.
That was my thought. Unless anyone else knew anything.
That's a good idea.
So Tisvan will pause his repairing of the chainmail and start to copy, as well as he can, copy down
Okay.
the dwarvish script.
Give me.
I was about to say this turn from a dress up to a strip down.
So give me a Well, actually, so Kane.
Yes.
The tattoo that you've got that might be in an area where this one would see.
Yeah.
Is it all legible in like one section, or is it like does it wrap around the arm and around the back so you can't read all of it unless you look at all of it?
It's 2 sleeves.
2 sleeves, okay. So my question is, Tisman, if you start to see this, would you remove his armor to be able to read it all, or just leave it at the bit that you can see?
Would at least try to push up the sleeves of the chainmail to get access to as much as possible.
Okay.
I wouldn't remove him out of his armor.
Okay. So
Tisvan would feel that would be very disrespectful to him.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, I'll say give me a performance check, but at disadvantage then, because you're not going to see all of this. So you're making a sketch down of what it is, but it'll be a part.
Okay, performance isn't my worst skill, at least. So,
No.
Can I make it straight by holding up the sleeve for him? I was about to ask, but he rolled before I could finish.
I mean, unless you're removing the armor, which he said he's not going to do, I don't think it will really help you.
Okay.
So, with the 7, I'll say you school down essentially the best sort of way you can. It's a bit like if you were trying to what's a good analogy of it? Essentially, you're putting the lines down, but you may not be worrying too much about the finesse of kind of the exact angle of the lines. So it's like you've written it in very poor handwriting.
basically like if I would try to write kanji now without understanding it.
Exactly, yeah. So you've got the lines there, but they might not be in quite the right angle or with the right sort of flourish at the end or something like that. So it's like a child trying to write the alphabet out, when they're just learning.
It feels like it'd be a dwarven saying, like, "You've got handwriting like an elf trying to write dwarven."
Something like that. If found, please return to 1 Bula Street. So yeah, so you note this down. You write this down as best as you can. But for intents and purposes, it's going to be bad handwriting. So if someone was to be able to read this, they might struggle, and we'll have a roll basically to see if they can read it. But you do the best that you can. And then you return and you smarten Kane up as best you can and his armor and everything. And we'll have to wait and to find out what it is that is written on your body.
Dun dun dun.
So while you're doing this and you're having this conversation, obviously Hannah is getting stuff ready as well to go with you. Johan, he stands up from the table and he says to all of you, I do not know if you wish to stay for the burial or not. You seem like you want to leave as soon as possible, but if you wish, we may have a small burial outside on our lands here at the Arestry Estate. But if you wish to leave, please know that I will take care of a friend. I will bury him with all the honors that I bury my father.
I think we're under some time pressure. With those still living. What
I
do the
understand.
rest of you say?
No matter how much I would like to stay for his burial, it is such, as you say, we need to get going. We do not know how much time Sohana and Moira has.
I understand, and although I did not know him as well as you, I believe that your friend would understand your need. He came across to me as someone who would put the thoughts and the minds of others before his own.
He did.
I will bury him in our garden, I think. It is one of my father's favorite places, and there is a tree I think is quite pleasant to sit under. This might make a good place for him. But I will do my very best, and I will have the carpenters build him a fine coffin.
Can you do me one favor in this case?
Of course. What can I do for you?
Amoros is gonna pick out his deck of cards and pull out 2 cards. He'll hand him the Queen of Spades and say, "Can you bury him with this card in his hands?" And then give this one to Bulat in, and also hand him the King of Spades.
He will take the cards from you, and he will nod and say, "Of course, I will have this done. Is this some kind of ritual from the mortal realm?"
It was more of a saying in, between something my sister taught me. I don't remember exactly from where, but it means that where the king is, so is the queen, and where the queen is, so is the king. So in this scenario, it will be, even though he's in the ground, a piece of Bula is with him, and a piece of him is with Bula represented in the cards.
I understand. I will make sure that she receives the other card.
And before we leave, I just wanted to see if you knew anything about this mask that we found, and I pull out the mask of Hollow Flame.
He'll take it, and he'll sort of turn it over in his hands. It is a strange mask, but for its purpose, I do not know. I can, however, tell you that this face, this elven face on the front, it has a likeness of the princess.
Because
Hands it back to you.
when we were at the top of the tower and we thought that fire spirit. It appeared to have possessed this mask, and it called it a guardian at one point. But it had been corrupted, and now it serves as its puppet. I don't know if it's safe to keep the mask around here, so I'd rather bring it with us. But I thought I would still show it to you in case it actually once served as the guardian of this land.
As far as I am aware, there were stories of a guardian who protected the tree originally. As far as I know, it did not wear a mask. Perhaps this is something that was bestowed upon it. Perhaps this is in essence, something to do with the queen. But as far as I know, the spirit or the guardian of the tree did not wear a mask.
Well,
I think it is
that's
probably better that you do take it with you, yes.
Yeah. Well, are we all ready then?
Johan.
Yes, Galatea.
The other night, you said, it wasn't safe with the princess. What did you mean? And Galatea looks at him sort of pointedly, as if he's supposed to know what that's about.
The princess is not herself any longer. Do not trust her, and do be careful. Her reach in this land is infinite, and as we have already been made aware, the Skyward Guard follow her orders blindly, it seems. I do not know if it was only the Skyward Guard who were here in our town, but I sense that it may be more. My father felt that something had come upon the princess. He did not confide in me all the information. I only know that he sent a letter with a messenger to find people to help, to try and combat her influence in this land. For it is her that has sealed us away in the Feywild as it is. He puts his hands on both your shoulders. Just be careful.
But what does that have to do with kissing me? Why wouldn't you?
He looks around. And his sister just folds her arms and raises an eyebrow. It is.
Tisvan, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Tisvan just looks over like he's had a fucking epiphany.
I see.
Galatea just looks really determined. Like she needs answers now, man.
It is probably just rumors. It is superstition, but because the princess has lost her love, her ire will fall on those who show their love. I hesitated because I did not wish to put you in harm's way. I do not know for certain, but with the death of Cain, I
it makes me worry even more now. My father, he was in love, and he died. Cain and I believe Bula had at least feelings for each other, and now Cain is dead. Believe me, it is not that I do not want to. I just fear for your safety and mine.
Gartia looks like there's a lot of thoughts going on now. She looks upset, slightly offended, but also understanding, and she sort of hugs herself, like just wraps her arms around herself protectively. And she nods a bit and then looks off to the side and then looks over at Tisman and frowns slightly. And then nods again and okay. Okay. I guess we will keep a distance.
He takes your hand and he says, we shall be apart for some time. I hope it is not too long, but your journey may take you further than we would wish. I would give you this. And he just raises your hand and he just kisses the back of your hand.
Galatea is just like crying quietly and covers her mouth. Don't. I think I've already lost someone.
You aren't going to lose me, Galatea. I am simply staying here. It is, if anyone is worried, should be worried, it would be me, letting you and my sister go off alone. I have failed once before to protect my family, and it is only because I know that Sahana is going with you and your friends that I have some peace. Please understand that if there is anything I can do, if there is any way I can help you in the future, I will be here. But I must stay here. I must take care of the people here. It is my duty.
Yeah, of course. Galatea looks like she just wants to run away now. We should go. We should get going.
Sahana comes over to her brother and she gives him a big hug. She passes him a piece of paper, a note of some kind, which he takes. And then she looks at him in the eyes with a smile, shakes her head, and then kicks him in the leg before turning and coming over to you, Galatea and pointing towards
Why?
the door.
Why do I just imagine the note saying, "Please don't overdrink"?
I imagined it being, "You're an idiot."
Stupid.
You'll never know unless you read it.
Secret DM things.
But yes, so she comes over to you, Galatea, and she taps you on the shoulder. She waves at Moira and she makes a hand gesture for "Let's go." Actually, she says she does the hand signal for "Let's go," then the hand signal for "before," points at her brother, and then does a sort of like crying, like that kind of motion, trying to lighten the mood.
Fucking siblings.
I approve.
Goethe does a little smile, but just to go straight back into like a distraught mess as they leave.
Does anyone else want to do anything before you leave the house, the village?
Moira has mostly spent this morning time writing in her diary about the things that have happened. That is all.
Okay.
I imagine that as like a little excerpt from some sort of romance novel. And then
Amorous and Tisfin, anything you want to do before we leave?
This
No,
one would
Amorous is good, I think.
just say another small prayer over Kane's body before going outside, giving a nod to Jorhan on the way.
Johan will give you a nod back. He will say to each of you individually, farewell and good luck.
You too, man. You too.
Please take care of my sister and yourselves. The Feywild, the Shadow Fey, is not a safe place to be. If I can help in any way, please just return here and I will do whatever I can. Be safe.
Galatea looks back at Kane for the first time properly, and says, "Bye, Kane. Thank you for being my friend. You're thank you for being you."
He places a hand over his heart and then he bows to you. Thank you for allowing me to be the person I am supposed to be.
Galatea, it doesn't seem to be able to speak anymore. She's just does the same gesture, hand over heart, bow as she walks backwards and then turns around and leaves.
Okay. Okay, and as the five of you slowly walk down the path leading out of town, Sahana takes the lead and guides you to a path that you have not come to before that heads north, heading back into the forest. And as you step beyond the bounds of the town of Blankshorn, you begin to hear the odd noises that stir up suddenly in the distance. creatures, small and large, natural beings in the forest, very similar to how you, when you had first entered into the Shadow Faith through the portal. You begin to remember the feeling of travelling through this dense and often claustrophobic feeling forest. Bloated blooms hang gorged from twisting briars. The air is very quickly becomes thick and heavily scented as you delve deeper into the Shadow Faith.
Having grown used to the town atmosphere, Moira kind of stiffens up and subconsciously grabs Amarosa's tail.
Galatea will walk next to Tisman.
As you continue walking, after a certain amount of time, you begin to see things that you had witnessed, I think, before as you walked. Just off in the distance, just set back from the tree line, just beyond your vision, you see, or making it harder to see, eyes blinking back from beyond the tree line and the gloom. Odd creatures skittering around about high in the trees and below the roots. Peculiar, nauseating smells of fungi, the dank corners of the shadowy trees permeate your nostrils, and you start to see strange phosphorescent growths and lichen on the branches as you continue your way. As you continue on your journey deeper into the woods, you see Sahana, once at the beginning of this trek, confidently striding ahead, full of beans. You see her slowly looking around, and when she looks back at you, she has a face of worry. And she scribbles on the note and just shows it to you. And it just says, "I don't remember it being like this." And that's where we end the session tonight.
Your bloody foreshadowing.
So ominous. Oh god.
But yes, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's session. I'm sorry, Kane, we didn't quite get to bring in potentially another character for you, but I'm sure we will at the beginning of the next session. He's gone.
I think
We look forward to whatever new form of the trapdoor will
I
be.
muted.
Oh,
I
you
muted myself because I hadn't talked for a while, so I was like, I'll mute my mic, and then you addressed me, and I was like, oh.
I haven't got it ready.
No, that's good. I kind of want to work on the voice a bit. I want to get it just right.
Perfect.
We'll practice this week.
Ooh.
Great. Well, we shall look forward to that and to how things are going to progress now that you are one member down from the original, or 2 members down now, aren't you, from the original party? But without Kane, who will you meet next? Tune in next week, same channel.